So that's actually a great segue into this section because as a solo act, 2005 comes out and you bring out the Ventilation mixtape. So was that a nod to Umoya? Like, was it a breathing thing? What was behind Ventilation?
Um, you know, it was anger. It was anger. I called up Smacks one day and I said, I'm just so tired of these motherfuckers always saying I'm using the squatter camp name to get things or open things. Because all the time I use the squatter camp name, everybody eats. All the time I literally go and I sell us, everybody eats, you know? So I just called up Smacks and we just finished the Bozza album. And I'm the one involved in the Bozza album with regards to getting the features, calling the people. Like we had a joint at the time with like Lira. Sorry, we had beats from a couple of. I'm literally like A&Ring the project after work because I had a day job. After work I'm A&Ring the project and they recording. The cover design, everything. Because I had a vision of creating this whole squatter camp business. And the squatter camp business will sign other artists outside squatter camp. That was my vision, right? And we'd all benefit from it. It'll be like a holding company, whatever it makes, we'll all benefit from it. That was my vision. Then Bozza literally must have spoken to Flabber and, when people literally like don't know what's happening, but things are happening, and there's a lot of work and money being spent for them to happen, and they don't ask, and they just go off I sense this is what's happening, and I can talk about it because there was nothing happening, except doing the business. Bozza literally like the album is done, sleeve, design, everything. We got a release date also, contract signed with Gallo. We've signed a label deal, Squatter Camp, I think. Or Bada Ping, I don't remember. Album is gonna drop in a month or two, in a few weeks. Bozza goes, fuck it, I'm not releasing it. Whew. You don't understand. Whew. I mean, I was so mad at him. And when I said why, I remember because I used to work at Wits, I used to pick up papers for Xerox. I remember just calling him going, but why? And he was like, nah, because of 1, 2, 3, 4. You cursed out like the guys from Gallo. I said, whoa, bro. I mean, I cursed them out on my sleeve, but the album was already out. Shit, I was smart with my shit. But besides that, he just dropped it. And I just like 12 tracks. I don't know if you guys know the song. Yes, Superza. Inja Your Corner is me. That's our work. That's the build-up. He is next up. He performs after Pitch Black Afro, and people go crazy like it is Pitch Black Afro. He is next up in Squatter Camp. He is our next star, and he doesn't need Squatter Camp. Next up. Me is doing well. We're getting everybody's fucking with Bozza. This is now the album that's gonna go boom. We are a business and you are the leader and you don't need the rest of us. And that's what we want. He says, fuck it, I'm not gonna do it. It shattered me. It broke me. And then the little talks within the group, whether it was Flabber, whether it was whoever, Nish, whether it was just the little talks in between. It was always like, yo, but we built this shit. I never charged anybody for a studio and said it's in my. We shared everything equally. It was just a management company that got their management shit so they can make them calls and do what they do. That shattered me. So with that being said,
That led you to ventilation.
I called Lebu one day and I said, I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this shit. And I don't even want to be the rapper. I don't even want to be the front guy. I know that Flabber would kill it. I know that Bozza would kill it. I'm like, y'all, you just heard that verse from Nimza? I was overcompensating by releasing an album. I literally wasn't releasing an album because it was what I wanted to do. I was looking at all the other guys. I was looking at my brothers saying, I'm going to be behind this and do this. So when I released the album, I was at my weakest. Ventilation was like, it was almost like but I still want to work here anyway. So I just released it. It was really half-hearted, but it worked. It was a success. It was released out of a grudge. And that's what people don't know. It was a grudge release. I don't want to do this shit. I don't want to be traveling alone, performing. That I don't. I like being around my niggas. That's me. But if the people you love cannot see that you love them, if the people you want to see great don't see that you want to see them be great, and then they try it on their own, then Bozza did an album on his own that was shit. He knows it's shit. He did an album on his own that was shit. No build up, no rate, nothing. We were like, we used our relationships with everybody to literally to try and make everyone work outside us at the time. So by the time Smacks did his album, it's because it was just me and Smacks now, and I started Ventilation Productions, which had Ventilation.coza or whatever. I said, I'm leaving Bada Bing. I'm not fucking with Squad. I don't want nothing to do with Squatter Camp. I literally went and I started from zero with nothing. And I just had me, and I did an album that I featured guys that I liked, and that was it. And I had a DVD. You could see it was just overcompensating. I don't have enough confidence in myself to give you just a straight album, 1 to 10, because I never saw myself there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that overcompensating led somewhere, right? Because then you dropped Ventilation Mixtape 2, which won a Metro for Umsindo. And then you dropped Ventilation 3, which was superstar studded and all of that. But it was also, it's 2012, right? You would think people are evolved and they listen to music. But you dropped this song, Blacks Are Fools.
Yeah.
And people lose their minds.
Yeah.
What were you thinking when that backlash happened?
So this is where we get woke, right? My son is just about to come out straight out the block, as in come out from be born,
I think we get it. We understand.
Yeah.
We got it.
So my son is about to be a real thing, and I start feeling like I have everything, but I have nothing. You know what I mean? I feel like I can pick up a call, make things happen. But I've got nothing, And I start feeling that I got to start living with purpose, It's like you can be great and you can give out great energy and do great things, and you might not know why, but I start like looking for my purpose. I start looking at what I did. I said, how the hell did you guys do this? From where you come from, with your group, with yourself. I go, imagine if I started doing what I was doing with intention, with purpose, with longevity, with the objective to, I don't want to help when I've got 1,000 rand. It's okay, hey, here's 1,000 rand. But I already want to start from nothing with the thought of how am I going to help, So when that happens, I listened to this whole album, this Ventilation Mixtape 3, and it's a shit album. I hate it, There's so much things were happening in my life. I did listen to it recently. There's 1 or 2 songs I like, but it's a shit album, right? So what the fuck am I even saying, It's whack. But then this Blacks Are Fools, I hear what I'm saying. I'm like, whew. It was that spark. But it was written without even knowing purpose, without the purpose. There was no purpose. It was just, I can do it. You can do anything in life. But if you don't have purpose, people go, when they tell you, you're good. And then all of a sudden, I was like, what if I actually did something with this song? 2 years after the album was dropped. Now, at that time also I have nothing. I've stopped making music. My son is born. I'm not with the mother of my child. And the biggest thing that's fucking me up is how could I have all these things and be so successful, but I can't just like live with my son? It's like, you got all these things that are not even related to you. It's not your blood. You can be on TV, you can make money, but you can't have your blood living with you. So I feel this emptiness. And then I go, yo, I'm gonna fix my life. This is when as a dude, and I say this because, people go, you can't speak like that. Like, as dudes, we fuck up. As dudes, we mess around with because of our egos or because we think we superstars. We play with girls. We do a lot of things. It's me picking up my phone to every girl that I think I still have a contact with saying, I'm sorry. I'm cleaning up now. I'm so cleaning up. I'm cleaning up from even all my fuck ups. I'm sorry. I never meant to make you cry about tonight. And some of it is so dated. The girls go, "What you talking about?" I'm like, "Yo, you remember that? Ah, see ya. Come on, man. You just young and shit." Okay, yeah, I just wanted to clean it for myself. Cleaning up my life. I want to be purpose driven. I want to be a voice that makes a difference, really. So it's all the girls, it's everyone that I feel like I've done wrong. It's just cleaning up. And then I wake and I'm living at my mother. Fortunately, I built a house for my parents in Greenstone, so it wasn't like we are kayas like it was like, nah, niggas, I'm going back to the house I built in my name, nigga. So I fell off in stature, social stature. But now I wake up every morning and my mama be there and some. You know what I mean? And I'm in my 30s, it's like, and I'm like old in late 20s. I'm going back home. I'm cleaning up my life. Because home, I realized this is where the dream was born. At home, I had this love that just never stopped. It was this love that literally like never questioned me. It was this love that let me rap when every other kid was doing something else. So now I'm under these two people, my pillars, my mother and my father. And now I start finding that I don't need to be cool. I want to make a difference.
That's 2012, right? So that's about maybe 4 years after Kwesta has started being a professional rapper. So how did you meet Kwesta, and what made you and Sugar Smacks want to sign him?
Kwesta came to me through some other guys who said that they manage him, who were trying to be all protective. I don't know what was happening there. But after all my traumatization with Squatter Camp, I never wanted anything to do with anyone. I heard this nigga was dope. And JJ Sessing was on Metro FM now. He's doing well in his life. He used to stay with me and he used to tell me that that we pay. He used to say he'd pay half the rent. you know. He still owes me, and nigga ain't paid me for shit. But he my nigga. He's on Metro FM. He's building houses now. He's like, yo, Slick, don't you wanna get involved? I'm like, nigga, why don't you just pay me the rent you owe me from North Cliff? Okay, my nigga. But that's it. The spirit of accommodating and always being hospitable is something I got from my mother. And so Jay, even if he never paid the rent, he was still my nigga. Yeah, I still live with you, that we good, When you are calling Metro FM and you ask a man shit, ask that man when he gonna pay my rent, So Jay literally like comes to me, and Jay literally, I mean, I know I'm talking shit about him, but he was like a good guy around me at the time. He keeps on going, yo, Slick. It's like when I was broken because of Squatter Camp, Jay would literally remind me of who I am, you know what I mean, and what I can do. So he'd be like, yo, Slick, you gotta sign this kid Kwesta. Call him in, man. Call him in. Jay's a sneaky guy, vele. He's that guy who like literally likes to kind of give you the problem and go, duck, you know. So we call Kwesta in, we get the music going, and boom, Jay literally like Kwesta starts working, and my big thing I remember, Kwesta always like saying, yo, you gotta have more personality. You gotta talk a bit more. You like you talented. You got all these things, but you
Because
got.
he was Mr. Cool.
And he wasn't even Mr. Cool. It's a nigga from Katlehong who literally came into this world of lights. You know, it was like light. It was like, and he never knew, like, okay, his personality is quiet, right? But like, when you don't know whether, should I be like the guy who signed me, Smacks, Slikour, should I be like them? When you come in, you also like a little bit like not sure how you should be. So Kwesta goes through a lot of that because he's got two strong personalities around him, right? And then he's got Yanga, and who's literally Yanga's a bit like, you know, Yanga also was Yanga Chief. He literally sneaked into my life also because he said that he wants to. I was always going to just go to school, go to school, go to school. But he kept coming to the office, and then he said he wants to be a graphic designer. Then he said he wants to be a videographer, and then so you had guys like Young around him who were his age and would almost like translate how you could be like us because they were around us for longer than him. And Nota, a madcap who's literally hasn't grown in the ghetto for a while, he's got this for a minute. Nota's confidence is almost like his ignorance at time, you know what I mean? And it's also like his strength at time. His ignorance is also strength at time because Nota's just like bombards everything, right? So this guy, Kwesta's like lost in these strong personalities from the top to the guys that work with us. And he literally like, Melanie Ramji, like one day comes up to me and he goes, yeah, I was with your mans the other night, you know, and he don't greet. He ain't greeting. Why ain't he greeting him? He's just sitting there in the corner. And I'm like, I'm trying to go to Mel. He's not like that. He's not that superstar, like guy who's like, he wasn't being arrogant also, you know. Then I went and at it and I said, Kwesta, you gotta be like, just be a part of the, you know what I mean? It's that thing. So now I don't know whether Kwesta, this thing's gonna work. I think we get Kwesta, before he even had an album, I think we got him like 36,000 or something like that from a campaign we did. And that was a lot of money in 2006, you know what I mean? No album, he's just like the nigga. We took him on a national tour and we paid him also for it, you know? And I said, Kwesta, go take this money and go to school. And by the way, what we did before we even signed, when we decided to sign Kwesta, we went to Kwesta's mother's house and we had a chat with Kwesta's mother, who I got to see at the wedding again. But then when he made money, we went back, we said, Mama, nah, imali, umfana makayofunde. Ufunde kuphi? Uvele waba ne-base stronger, you know? But yeah, and then he, as is, Nota Yanga saw everything that Smacks and Slick did. By the time we went our separate ways, Kwesta, Nota, Yanga went together. Everything they did replicated Bada Bing. They just did it bigger, they just did it better, and the time allowed them. They even did things that we were planning, but the industry wasn't ready for that, you know what I mean? And they taken it a step further, you know? So I mean, and now we know Kwesta's personality is chilled. But in this industry that's like forcing you to be what you want, what it wants you to become, he's literally like hasn't changed. That's who he is. You know what I mean? So yeah. So I mean, I think that's just the thing. You know, you can't. One lesson I learned from Kwesta is that some people are gonna work in their way if they just keep on doing their thing. You know what I mean? You can't always try. You must always be like AKA. You must always be like Casper. You must always be like KO. No, be you. Be you, but be. I said if you could be 100% what's in your conscious, you live that in with conviction. Man, Donald Trump just became the president.
It's a lot of consistency, right? Like, and a lot of conviction.
I tell you.
So it's dope that was a happy breakup, right? Like they went on and did Rap Live. It wasn't a Facebook breakup. Do you guys remember Slikour breaking up with someone on Facebook?
It's a good thing my wife said she's got to take care of the kids today. Don't like me
So-
talking about this.
So I'm not going to grill you about the Facebook thing, right? People have been broken up in worse ways. But what I do want to know about
They
is...
treating me like Mambincha in the streets.
I don't know about
That's how
that.
they were treating me like in 2009. You know.
But so here's the thing. So if you don't know what
Was
the
it
Facebook
2009?
saga is, this guy over here was dating your girl B. And,
Allegedly.
okay, allegedly, because now he's a
No,
married man.
not allegedly. I was about Facebook allegedly.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
And I just want to put it straight for the record. Me and Bonang are cool.
We know. We saw the video. You're mad cool.
Yeah, I just want to put it out. It's just that, you know, when I talk about it, everybody goes, because now people, it's like she's become this superstar. And I always talk about it like, I talk about my simplicity because I've been simple all my life. And because she was a part of that simplicity, people feel like I'm putting her down when actually she also comes from nothing. And if anything, you should be hearing my simplicity and hearing the simplicity she comes from. And you should be saying, for real, is that where she comes from? And this is where she got, she's like selling a champagne for 400 Rand now. You know, while some people are drinking water, having accents, she's like, you know, she's making those type of moves, you know?
Yeah.
So when I talk about her, people are all like all the beehive, yes, it's a beehive za, you know, wants to sting me, and I'm like, yo, I don't have beef with any one woman that I've been with in my history, even the woman that like were that I was doing the wrong, just being. I don't have beef with one woman, and not
Okay.
even one.
All right.
I just want to put that out
I get
there.
that.
Yeah.
And that's not where we were going. We
Okay.
have a lot of love for Bonang over here. But what I was trying to say...
I'm speaking to the bees Hive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to talk about is this video of you interviewing her, right? And in the video, you guys talk about how you were instrumental in getting her a deal with Legit, the clothing store. So a lot of people now know you as this branding and marketing and whatever guy, but back then it wasn't like you were wearing that on your sleeve. So tell us a little bit about that deal and how you were able to make it happen.
It was all purpose. I mean, it was all driven because you know when you're great by default at things, but you don't know how to literally package them things. You're just gonna be great by default. You don't want to get anywhere. With Bonang, with what we did with Sprites, when, like I said, with Kwesta, when you got that 30,000 whatever check, you know, in 2006 or whatever, we used to laugh and just side note and go, all them up and coming niggas, even some of them got albums, they don't even have the money that you have. You know what I mean? But we were happy to pay. But like all those things for us to walk inside a Sprite building and go and literally say we don't know what marketing is, but we think we're doing marketing. You know, that was a balls. You know, that was a seeing more of yourself than what you are, right? And all that, you know, literally was done without purpose. It was done because we can. Because we can. I mean, why is Pride spending their money there anyway? You know, why? So, because we can. But when you start sitting on your own, and with the Legit deal, it was the same thing. I said, this was before she was even going pop. This was, I think she was still going through she just started her first month on Live Amp. And I pulled a lady by the name of Glenda Mtimkulu, you know, and I said, she was working at Edcon at the time. This is what I do. I see things in people. And I said to her, Glenda, this girl, if you're going to run this campaign, you better run it with this girl. And Glenda was like, who is this girl? Siyabonga, man. I said, yo, Glenda, listen. This girl about to blow up. I ain't telling you I'm going out with her yet. You know what I mean? This girl about to blow up, though. Yo, watch. And Glenda's like, she does her research because it's a corporate, you know, you can't just commit an up and coming, that you are not sure about because she was an up and coming. Um, I have another meeting with Glenda. I literally like show her the things. Now this is when I start investigating about her. I start finding out that she was on TV already. But even Bonang's mind is not like is not. She doesn't even get that what that partnership can mean. Do you know what I mean? Um, she's not entrepreneurial as she is now, but I see it. Like, yo, Glenda literally comes in and she meets Bonang, and I literally like almost like give Bonang like, so Bonang, this is who this is. This is how you go, a little pep talk before you get in there. She comes in, they meet, they talk, and then Glenda goes, oh, but she's so nice. This is me now, Glenda, me giving me feedback. I'm like, yeah, and watch the show on Friday also, blah, blah. This is the background work I'm doing that I don't know whether she knows I'm doing this, right? A few weeks later, we get called in. I think the deal was signed in Joe. We got the contract, which took the deal. We talked about the deal there, the percentages, etc., etc. And after that, the model of the it girl was almost like our generation's it girl, because this shit ain't new. I always say you can't take away from ladies who've been doing this before her, like
Nantle.
not even Nantle.
Before Nantle.
I'm saying, Abu Basitan in them and all the Muslome,
Kanye.
Carol Bauer, Yeah, you can't take away. It's just that for their generation, they were killing it for what killing it was. But the beginning of what our generation's it girl thing, literally, the blueprint starts kind of developing through Bonang. And it starts becoming like, you got to get to live amp, you got to get a deal with the company, you know what I mean? It starts becoming like the conversation to kind of be a success, and that's how that deal works. She sold out, killed it, and Glenda came to me and said, all right. Said, watch me.
That's dope.
But what I want to say, that's potential. That was almost like my potential as an individual. I did that in my sleep. I still sold rap music. That was the side thing I did. And it had that type of impact. I was looking at the side things I was doing in 2011, 12, and I was going, wow. I said, what if I literally made these side things a main thing?
And we're going to talk about the main thing in a little bit. We're going to talk about Slikour on live. We're going to talk about what the future holds for Slikour. But do you guys have any questions about anything we've discussed so far?
You throw a lot of shade. This is also truth, right? So in the generation we growing up now, the social media, truth is shade, right? And you just speak truth, correct?
That's why I don't tweet. Yeah.
How much trouble has all of this shade gotten you into?
A lot. I feel like 21 Savage. A lot.
One moment you remember that has been like a big, like, oh, damn, I'm in trouble. Like, what's the one moment?
I never ever feel like I'm in trouble. I feel like I'm misunderstood. Because if I start feeling like I'm in trouble, that means that that means that my heart was at the wrong place. That means I was being malicious, but I never say things to be malicious, right? So, but like, I guess like a lot of people receive me the wrong way. And that's why I even posted this morning, I just said, I've been talking a lot and I know I'm going to get into trouble somehow. I need to shut up, So this is going to be like one of my last talks, in a while, unless they really paying me. That means they want me to talk shit, But like, I have a light, and I can empower and I can do so much that I can't let my mouth literally take away from the light and the power that I need to literally emit. You know what I mean? So I literally need to humble myself. That's why I've stayed back and I haven't said much. And I said, let me rather let my work talk. You know what I mean? I don't need to go, oh, I don't need to talk much. Let me let my work talk. If I can apply myself in my work, if I really believe in it, I don't need to always say I did this or I pushed this or you know what I mean? Even though I do a lot, but I don't remember. There's nothing, there's nothing. It's really that whole Facebook so-called thing, you know what I mean? Which was
The alleged Facebook thing.
Alleged Facebook thing. And my friends go to me, why don't you post the shit that you told? And I'm like, I don't, my friends, the close people who literally hear what I say, my mind, they go, yo, people gotta hear this. And I go, that's a dangerous space to play in because it's a bunch of strangers that don't know where my heart is at. So that's why I don't mess around with Twitter, because Twitter doesn't have a vision of your heart. Instagram doesn't have show your heart. You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of words and everybody's trying to get clout, And I've been hot from my neighborhood. My neighborhood gave me a name.
Hey now.
I never needed to be my neighborhood gave me a name and I took that with me. And I used to say it even when Squatter Camp I said the industry needs me when Squatter Camp was hot. I don't want to ask for anything. Even in my family, I feel like I'm grateful that I've never borrowed money from maybe a business, but from any individual. Any individual, I've never borrowed money, like, unless, I forgot my wallet, some shit like that. But I've never borrowed money because I'm stranded. You know what I mean? I'm from a poor background, but I know that if God allowed me to make money from 21 through rap music and there was BVK, Prophets of the City, Black Noise, and they weren't able to do what we did, and they had just as much energy and as much passion, if not more, than we did. If God gave me the chance, that means that I'm from a poor background in a poor family, but God doesn't want me to be poor. I've never been poor. Because all the time I put my mind to something, and we got to learn to differentiate those things also. Because people go, now you're arrogant. Because you got to, I'm from a poor background, but if you got the talent, if you got the mind, if you seeing the rest of your people in your hood, they just chilling, and you keep on driving for something and you don't have anything, you got wealth. You just got to keep on and convert into a currency. You know what I mean?
Can we get an amen? Do we have another question? Who's got the mic?
Yo, it's Max here from K1.
Yo.
Bengifuna ukubuza, there's a
Why do K1 niggas all look alike?
yeah.
I'm just the one that looks different.
There's on your first Ventilation mixtape, you say there's a track that you feature a crooner. Lautikona, you quit at your job and everybody thought it was a stunt. I just want to ask that, what was your thought process when you quit your job and went into music full time?
I was, so when I quit my job, literally I was still in music, Squatter Camp was popping. Umoya was popping in the streets. I was still like, Benghambang in takes, and I used to work at Wits, Dorenfontein, for a company called Xerox. And I used to always I was the print guy, I was the printer guy. Magnanama paper, I literally take the papers there. I was earning 3,000 a month. And when I made my first 100,000 from Squatter Camp, I've never seen so many numbers in my account. So I had to tell my father, and my father literally had taxis. So I told my father this, and my father's taxis were all going past. So my father was among shining on, and he's on some, yeah, no, now remember, I don't have a car. My first car was a taxi. So what I do, I go to my dad. This is my first negotiation in life. My dad is not going to rip me off. I say this because it's key. My dad was not going to rip me off intentionally. He could have by mistake if I never negotiated with him. But people get in deals and they don't know that the deal you in is the deal that you negotiated or never negotiated. So with my father, my negotiation with him was I ain't gonna be at the taxi ranks, but I'm gonna handle the money in the account. My father never even had a bank account. He used to put his money in a blazer. Gee, all stacks, you know. And he was like one of them. I'm sure got the figure the ranks, Njengo KO, and some. Hello, you know. So my father literally like was like I negotiated with him. I remember we were driving just from Auckland Park at Wits, and I was in the car, passenger seat, and I said, "Look, I got 100,000," and he said, "Yo, buy a taxi." And then I negotiated. I said, "I'll hold the money, and I'll open the account, and I'll do this." And he said, "Okay, go." This is one taxi. And then like 3 months later, then I bought a car. And then, but I was still working for Xerox, earning 3,000, right? Every month, right? And by the way, while I've got a taxi, before I get a car, I'm still walking around Dorenfontein. I even got jacked, right? So 3 months later, I get a car, and I'm still working at Xerox. I get my second taxi. I'm still working at Xerox. One night, obviously it must have been a night, I get a nightmare. That adds up. So I get a nightmare of me being at Xerox, and I'm old, and I'm unhappy. Because what I used to do at Xerox, and I used to, during lunch, I would go, I'd find the couch in Yolala, you know, all the time. Listen, I'm a rapper, I'm famous, I got taxis, Mara, I'm still, you know, I still know, I'm still poor. You know what I mean? I can't get away from I don't have anything. You know, I'm literally earning close to 60,000 a month. You know, I'm 21, 22 years old, plus the 3,000 from there, you know? I'm still going to this job every day. The only thing that made me leave work is that nightmare. I went to my boss the next morning. I said, his name was Solly. I said, Solly, thanks for everything. And then I did all my personal finance things, insurance, because it was all in the company. I said, thanks for everything. I think it's time to go for me now. That dream said leave. And that dreamed open ventilation. And just when that dreamed open ventilation, it opened that call to labor to say, I'm tired of this squatter camp shit. These niggas, you know. And that started ventilation. That ventilation opened up the lessons of what I learned over time and all these deals that started happening, that were happening in default, which, like, the Bonang thing is something that I could have done for a squatter camp in another relationship, you know what I mean? And that's what I was doing for squatter. Me and Smacks, that's what we were doing for squatter camp. But it's like I had a skill to do this thing, but I never knew, you know what I mean? So it was the nightmare, you know. Amadlos will speak to you, and I totally believe in that like my whole life has been guided, and I'm grateful for that.
Dope. I'm going to take one more question before we move on into our last section.
You talk about not talking publicly anymore, right? And I guess I'm one of the lucky people that have had the opportunity to call you, share knowledge with you, and I get a lot of insight and guidance. And I feel that if you stop, right, who is going to then help pass the knowledge on? Because fuck it, for whatever they take, you know, like a wise man said, bite your tongue, for no man, a closed mouth don't get fed, right? And I mean, I've always lived by that personally. And I think that having watched your story from, funny, it's crazy because we're in this building. If I'm not wrong, this could be the same building where you battled snares. And that's the first time I saw you in my life. It was right here. And you at the time, you took out the best freestyle artist in Joburg, and you know. So anyway, long story short, watching that rise and you building Bada Bing, ventilation, Slikour on live, I do think that if you stop, you will deprive us of a lot of knowledge and insight that has to be passed on to the next generation and then next, and even your generation, people that might want to learn. I know personally, I learn a lot of shit from you because I call you, we talk about a lot of things. So, you know, I would just like to implore you not to stop talking.
I'm formalizing the delivery of the information, you know. I've also learned a big thing. You can't try and make a change, but you're always hurting people in that also, you know. So that's also like maturity, you know. If you really want to make a change, also change yourself. You know, I mean, I might see things in a positive light, but I'm also a broken person, as in like, I need to work on myself. I also got the devil sometimes hanging around the block. You know what I mean? But I appreciate that.
I wish black executives could take a lead, but they put us down like we embarrassed them and give us skills that equate to embarrassment.